Well, hello.
Hey there, can you help me?
What seems to be the problem?
It's my friend Murphy. He went to the Phantom store, but it's been a while, and I'm starting to worry. Can you check on him for me?
Okay, I'll try to help.
Really? Thank you. It's the big yellow building down the street. Can you bring Murphy back safely for me, please?
New mission objective received. Mission set as active.
Everybody, got some news.
Followed by yes, followed by flash, down. We're trying to get confirmation. We seem to have lost contact with our affiliate stations. That is bad. We do have coming in. That's confirmed reports. I repeat, confirmed reports of nuclear detonations in New York.
Oh my God, it's happening.
Pennsylvania.
Oh God.
My God.
Oh God. This is it.
Our soldiers will evade.
It's finally happening.
Evacuate immediately.
One never changes.
Evacuate immediately.
No one panic!
Get out of here.
Sweet. Yes.
It's your business to know what you're putting in your child's bloated belly. That's why sugar bombs are engineered to please both your child and not damage his or her tender brain.
They taste so amazing. And they'll make you remember everything you read. Quick, absorb that book. Of course, Mother.
Sugar bombs are made with nutrients and stimulants. Stimulants and nutrients. Leaving sugar bombs may last 12 hours. After that, it's anyone's guess. Buy 2 boxes and get a third half free until supplies last. Cereal has seldom been so crispy, so fresh when it hits your stomach, blasting your brain with 5,000 taste volts of volcanic delight. Sugar bombs are built from the ground up to prime you for lunch. Value is relative, but relatively, what is value?
Something out there.
At Fallon's, each price represents our pact with the customer to bring things down to a manageable level of value that also takes luxury into account. Mass production techniques may have brought things up to speed, but it's time-honored, well-built oak and varnish tradition that really keeps things going. Ah, that's progress.
My chest!
Entering clear mode.
terminal somewhere.
Aren't you the overachiever? Admiring your handiwork. We all have.
You put on a good show. Maybe it's not useless after all.
Our new friend surely has some questions. Perhaps we should introduce ourselves.
Head upstairs.
And don't worry, we'll... It's time.
Gotta admit, I'm impressed. Stella here tells me this was all her little ruse. No hard feelings, huh?
Don't get all mushy on me. I hardly broke a sweat kicking their asses.
And a sense of humor, too. I like it. Sorry for any misunderstanding. We're a shoot first, ask questions later kind of place. Never can be too careful with looters breaking and entering these days.
Don't misunderstand. We're not criticizing you. Those were fair kills. You didn't know who we were, and we didn't know you from a random looter. Thankfully, Stella fessed up.
Hey, I was just trying to have a little fun. How was I supposed to know they weren't a common criminal?
Yeah, we're all friends now. Let's skip to the part where you help me.
That's rather presumptuous. After taking out 2 of our crew, I wasn't under the impression we owed you anything.
Well, that all depends. What kind of help are you looking for?
Hold on. I have some questions first.
All right, humor me. What do you want to know?
Could you tell me anything about the kid?
Stella hasn't had it easy. Her dad was never in the picture, and her mom raised her at University Point most of her life, until the Institute torched the place. I met Stella and her mom Judy after they fled to Quincy in 2285, helped them build a life for themselves there. And then the Quincy Massacre happened.
What was the Quincy Massacre?
We can get into that some other time. Let's just say that life's greatest dangers often come not from external enemies, but from our supposed friends, who pretend to work for the common cause while scheming to sabotage it. When the Minutemen betrayed Quincy, most of the residents ended up slaughtered by the gunners, Judy included. I managed to get Stella out, and we made our way north to Concord.
And that traitor Preston followed us here. I'm telling you, he was working with Clint the whole time. And now he's right down the street. And you still won't do anything about it.
We've been over this, Stella. Innocent until proven guilty. You want me to focus on keeping this place safe from the gunners? Or waste time dealing with the loudmouth fool in the silly hat?
Both. I want justice for what they did to my mom.
And like I explained, you'll get it, if you have patience. Garvey will get what's coming to him eventually. But for now... Wait, hold up. You hear that?
Who?
afraid those guys might show up. Thanks for your help. You alright?
That was interesting.
It's complicated. What do you know about the Gunners?
Gunners are just raiders with better armor.
It's a little more than just better armor, but I like your spirit. No one's really sure where the Gunners started out, but something changed about 8 or 9 years ago. Out of nowhere, they started sporting plasma weapons, advanced combat gear, and even vertibirds. Doesn't make any sense. Where did they get all that stuff from?
That's a good question. I don't know.
People bitch about the Institute, but look at what's really been going on. Quincy, GNN, Mass Bay Medical, Mass Fusion, 2 vaults, and all the major freeways. It's the Gunners, not the Institute, who've been gaining the most ground in the Commonwealth.
How much of a threat are they?
No one invests the resources to capture those strategic locations without a larger agenda. Someone's behind it. We're just not sure who or what. At this point, there's not much to keep the Gunners from taking Good Neighbor, Diamond City, or the towns up north.
Is there a reason that you're bringing this up?
You mean besides the fact that we just got ambushed here in Concord? There needs to be a group to stand up to these assholes. Someone strong, organized, and local. And I'm not talking about the Minutemen. I mean someone with real stones.
So, what did you have in mind? I'm gonna need some more in the way of details.
Ultimately, you gotta ask yourself who you want protecting things. A bunch of Muppets who can't defend what's theirs, or hardened killers who can handle themselves.
Well, I hadn't thought of it that way.
Uncertainty is sometimes better than an overt threat. If you build a reputation for being a little crazy, your opponents are never sure what messing with you will cost. So, they tend to avoid finding out.
Settlers can't instill that kind of fear. Whether it's against raiders, synths, mercs, super mutants, or even mole rats. They've proven time and again that they're incapable of deterring threats to their property over the long term. The Minutemen worked for a while, but they ended up self-destructing.
What happened to the Minutemen?
Depends who you ask. The challenge with running a militia is that volunteers inevitably have their own agendas. For a coalition to last, there needs to be a chain of command where members don't feel too constrained by your influence.
But still fear you enough to follow your lead.
Maintaining morale requires convincing soldiers to think less about themselves and more about the group. Involve them in a cause, a crusade against a hated enemy, and make them see their survival as tied to the success of the militia as a whole.
Of course, it's easier said than done.
Somewhere along the way, we lost that sense of common purpose. Infighting took over, and the militia gradually splintered into different groups. Some became raiders or joined the Gunners. Others just disappeared. Quincy was the final blow, and now we're back at square one.
Jesus, what a mouthful. What's the plan again?
Whether it's the Gunners, the Institute, or who knows what other groups are out there, they're too powerful to take on directly. So we've got to use our weaknesses as strengths.
If your enemy is big and you're small, then by extension, you're fast and they're slow. You're hidden and they're exposed.
So we break our forces into independent cells who can operate elusively and autonomously, fighting only the battles we know we can win, capturing the enemy's weapons and gear along the way.
And using those tools against them in the next encounter. That way, the enemy is supplying us, and we grow stronger as they grow weaker.
Makes sense, I suppose. What's our next move?
The Gunners are calculated and cautious. It's gonna take them a while to figure out what just happened, which provides us an opening. The critical elements in any campaign are speed and adaptability, making decisions faster than the enemy can.
Striking first, before the Gunners have time to assess and formulate a response, may throw them off balance. Their nearest outpost is up on the freeway, southeast of Walden Pond. That's likely where the attack came from. The freeway wasn't particularly well guarded to begin with. Probably even less so after the raid.
I want you to head over there, take out their remaining guards, and ask, and I'll have a larger project for you when you return.
And if you want bone, we'll mark the...
Mission objective completed. New mission objective received. Entering killing mode. Entering killing mode.
Damn. That hurts. We win again.
Level increased.
Sure you were gonna make it back in one piece. Any trouble out there?
Not sure I'd call it smooth, but it's taken care of.
Hey, anyone you can walk away from. Here, got you a little something for the trouble. Let me know when you're ready for the next job.
Any news on your side?
Just been cleaning things up here from the raid. Speaking of which, if you want to lend a hand, feel free. There's one on the first floor and also a second one in the bunker. Have a look.
Mission objective completed.
You interested in having a little fun?
I'm listening.
So, let me ask you something. You ever read comic books?
What's it to you?
Old comics are my absolute favorite. I think they cater to human aspiration, distilling our best and worst human qualities and pitting them against each other in an entertaining conflict. The best ones show us pieces of ourselves in all the different heroes. And besides, superheroes are wicked cool.
Couldn't agree more.
I grew up in an old print shop where they had a stash of undelivered comics. All sorts of great characters, but my favorite was Harley Quinn. I first noticed Harley's comic because she had the same first name as me. But as I read more of her stories, it felt like we had a real connection.
Why do you say that?
Holly was a good person who got drawn into a dark lifestyle because she tried to fix someone she loved. Most girls can relate trying to change a guy who's never gonna change. There's something intense and passionate about being with someone who pulls you back in each time they hurt you. No matter how powerful and strong you are as a person, sometimes you lose control. Your obsession keeps you holding on for the crazy ride, lusting after the highs and waiting out the lows.
I know the feeling.
All I'm saying is that sometimes us girls can get a little, overzealous. When we put our minds to it, we're way more devious, scheming, and vindictive than our male counterparts could ever be. And Harley Quinn is the epitome of that. She's an out-and-out crazy bitch. There's something you just want to applaud about a character so unashamed of her utterly disastrous mentality. She knows she's crazy, but she wholeheartedly embraces it and makes it work. She's a no-fucks-given, hot-pants-wearing middle finger to the rest of the world. Plus, she's fun, and who doesn't like a bit of fun?
Get to the point, if you have one.
I wanted to be just like Holly growing up, and part of that never went away. Lately, I've been trying to track down some of her gear. I found an old article in the Fallon's archives saying that before the war, Harley Quinn outfits were some of the most popular costumes for Halloween. I want to find one, and I think I know where to look.
So give me the details.
There was an old clothing store called Hot Topic down at the Monsinger Plaza. Legend is they were in the business of selling overpriced merchandise to teens who wanted a gothic or punk look. And if the Harley Quinn costume was as popular as I'm reading, maybe they've got an extra outfit or two lying around.
Sounds like an important mission.
I don't care much for traveling down to that area without backup. Place is crawling with raiders. And everyone else here thinks that chasing after an old costume is a waste of time. But you, I've got a feeling you might be different. So, what do you think? Will you come with me?
If that's what floats your boat.
All right then, we'll head out when you're ready. If Hot Topic doesn't have it, I know a couple other places we can look.
Hi.
What's up?
If you're ready to get started on the next phase, let me explain.
Just point me to the action.
I got a pal and good neighbor. Goes by the name Hancock. After what happened at University Point and Quincy, he's got some concerns about the next shoe to drop in downtown Boston.
What do you mean?
Every urban area has pressure points, centers of gravity that hold a region's economy together. Take out the pressure points, and it inflicts a disproportionate amount of economic pain. Trade suffers, supply chains stop moving, and eventually people start going hungry. The fabric of society starts to crumble. The Institute knows this, so do the Gunners. It's not hard to guess what their next targets might be.
Is Diamond City really in danger? It's not like there's raiders pounding on the gate.
Maybe not raiders, but they got super mutant hordes right around the corner. And synths have infiltrated their local government. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Diamond City isn't the settlement most in danger of falling. Good Neighbor is.
Why do you say that?
You mean besides the elevated sniper perches surrounding the town, and the relative ease of blockading the entrance so no food or supplies can get in or out?
Yeah. Obviously.
It's like this. If your settlement is poor, you can't afford adequate security. If your security stinks, your enemies eventually take notice, and sooner or later, they'll either demand tribute or conquer you.
So, if you want your city not to get pillaged, you need a functional economy. It's hard to pull off when your clientele is primarily low-end chem addicts and drifters. There's no real money in catering to riffraff like that. For Good Neighbor to survive, it needs to attract a higher class of clientele.
Makes sense, I suppose.
Bottom line, Hancock wants to clean up Good Neighbor. Starting with the chem dealers selling drugs to kids, the thugs harassing visitors for protection money, the back alley murders, the gang activity, and the never-ending stream of aspiring scam artists. He wants all of them gone. Not detained, not bargained with, just gone.
Makes sense to get rid of the trash. What's the catch?
As mayor, he can't be officially connected to ordering hits on his constituency. So, he's contracted out certain jobs on the down low to a few people he trusts. That's where you come in.
I need some details here. I have no idea what I'm getting into.
There's 3 jobs I want you to start with. First job is to entrap an old ghoul who's been trying to rip off Hancock. Second one is to eliminate a Triggerman gang infesting the town's warehouses. And a third task is to take out a few miscreants plaguing the local economy. You can do the jobs in any order you want. I've written down all the details on this holotape, including the local contacts to get started. Once the jobs are complete, cross them off your list and we'll move on to the next phase. And one more thing. You did us a solid with that gunner job. Anything we can help you with in return?
My son, Sean, was kidnapped. I'm looking for help to find him.
Man, sorry to hear that. Can you describe how he got kidnapped?
We were in a vault when it happened. Vault 111. It was some kind of cryo facility. My wife was murdered. She was trying to keep them from taking Sean, and they just...
Take your time. We're listening, of course, but details would be helpful.
There was a man and a woman. They didn't say much, but I remember they called me the backup. The woman was dressed in, I think it was a kind of hazard suit. The man had some sort of metal brace on his arm. One of them came right up to me. Bald head, scar across his left eye. I'll never forget that voice. Low and rough, like sandpaper across your face.
You didn't happen to get a name, did you?
No, they never said their names.
Yeah, I kinda figured. So Vault 111 was a cryo facility? That's crazy. I headed up there once, but it was sealed shut.
They had us cryogenically frozen in these pods, but something malfunctioned. The man who killed my wife, he had a handgun. I didn't get a clear look at it, but that sound...
Rather traumatic, I suppose. So, no name, but the killer had a bald head, scar, gravelly voice, and likely a rep for doing shady jobs. Sounds a bit like a local merc named Kellogg. Somewhat nasty character.
Rumor is he had a place in Diamond City. But there's something else.
Please, tell me what you know.
Fuck, this is a tough one. I shouldn't be sharing this, but it's your kid we're talking about. Look, check the desk in my room. There's a holotape in there. Might have some answers you're looking for.
A holotape? What's on it?
Tough to explain. You need to see it for yourself. But the gist is, Back in Quincy, when Stella's mom was bleeding out in my arms, the last thing she told me was to pull a holotape out of her cargo pants pocket. Not the type of thing you expect to hear in someone's dying words. I asked her why, but didn't get an answer. She just whispered to show it to Stella when she was old enough. And just like that, she was gone. Took a while before I could bring myself to read what was on the tape. Part of me wishes I hadn't.
I appreciate you telling me all of this. I know it's difficult.
Just promise me that whatever happens, you don't mention a word of this to Stella. She doesn't know, and that's the way it's gotta stay for now.
Don't worry, I'll keep your secret.
And hey, good luck out there.
New mission objective received.
Nice.
Shit.
That's it. Door's chained up on the other end.
In here, it's not gonna go your way.
There's synth army in here. I hope we make it through them. I want his head on a stick. Wait to meet him face to face.
Yes.
People can say that.
Unit level increased.
Okay, you made it. I'm just up ahead. My synths are standing down. Let's talk.
Excuse me.
And there he is. Most resilient man in the Commonwealth. Funny. I thought I had that honor.
Do we really need to do this the hard way? Start talking, or else.
Fine. I guess you've earned that much. I'm just a puppet like you. My stage is a little bigger, that's all.
Get to the point, if you have one.
This whole setup in Diamond City was part of some elaborate plan of the old man's. It wasn't my idea to settle down with the kid in the middle of Diamond City. I thought it was a terrible idea, actually. But it was one of the old man's pet projects, so here we were. Me and the kid. Like a happy little family. I ended up kind of liking it. A reminder of what my life might have been if things had turned out differently.
Where is my son? Where is Sean?
Sean's a good kid. So maybe he's not quite a baby anymore, but he's doing great. Only, he's not here. He's with the people pulling the strings. Where he's safe and comfortable and loved. The place he calls home. The Institute.
So where is it, huh? This Institute. How do I get there?
Haven't you been paying attention? You don't find the Institute. The Institute finds you.
What's that supposed to mean?
You open the closet. It's just a closet. You can never find the monster that hides inside. Not until it jumps out at you.
Let's stop with the Philosophy 101. Get down to business.
Right to it then, huh? Okay. Fine.
I read your journal. I need to ask you something. Did you have a daughter?
That's right. I don't remember much from that time. It all kind of blends together. Whatever made me think that a guy like me should have a daughter? No, I never deserved her. Not for 1 second. I was the worst thing that ever happened to her.
You saved her life. Nothing matters as much as that does. Do you regret it?
I'm a cold-hearted bastard for sure, but, I'm still human. I never knew what happened to her after I left. I didn't want to know. Not then.
You want to find your daughter, right? What if I knew someone who could help you?
If you're hoping for a happy reunion, ain't gonna happen. In another life, I probably would have been a good father. But here, in this terrible reality, you just don't get that chance.
You don't sound happy. I think you'd regret it if you didn't try talking with her.
People are always hoping for something better. They usually end up with something worse. The thing about happiness is you only know you had it when it's gone. I mean, you may think to yourself that you're happy, but you don't really believe it. Focus on that petty bullshit or next job or whatever. It's only looking back, by comparison with what comes after, that you really understand. That's what happiness felt like.
I don't understand. I found your daughter. Aren't you curious?
Not really. Don't worry about it. At least I know those Institute bastards will soon get what's coming to them.
What do you mean by that?
The eggheads never liked taking orders from a dirty, contaminated degenerate like me. I could see only one way out.
What are you offering, exactly?
I do what people pay me to do. If I'm working for you, there's no more problem. From what I hear, you can afford me.
You're wasting your time working for the Institute. Come with me. I need your help.
Okay, fine. So, you ready?
Lock and load. Let's do this. There we go.
New mission objective received.
Finding someone in the glowing sea wasn't gonna be any picnic. I never expected an Institute egghead to give me so much trouble.
Area patrol in progress.
Just find it.
There you are.
Hold it. Take it nice and slow. No sudden moves.
Why are you hiding?
Why are you even here? What do you want?
Don't toy with me. Look, I'm a reasonable man. The Institute wants that data, and you're gonna give it to us.
I'm sorry, what? If I help you, you're going to do something for me.
Then we do this the hard way.
Leg damaged. Mobility decreased.
Look, I know I've made mistakes. Just leave me be. That's all I ask.
That's the way you want to do it? Suit yourself.
Critical arm injury sustained.
Talk?
Fine. Let's talk details.
Okay.
The primary insertion point for coursers is in the ruins of CIT, directly above the Institute.
No kid.
You need to build a device that will hijack the signal the Institute uses to teleport coursers. Came up with some schematics for you.
You see these are gonna work, right, Doc?
The relay is the only way in and out of the Institute. Every courser has special hardware that gives them a direct connection to the relay in the Institute. It's embedded in a chip in their heads. You need that chip. But to get it, you'll have to find a courser.
Don't worry about it.
Now, the relay causes some pretty heavy interference all across the EM spectrum. When you get to the ruins, tune it to the lower end of the band and listen in. You'll be able to hear the interference.
It's gonna be worth it, right?
Follow the signal, and it'll lead you to a courser. Then, you just have to not get killed.
I get it. But I think we've been talking long enough.
All targets eliminated. Location
New
secured.
mission objective received.
People of the Commonwealth.
Remember, you can never trust a Senate.
Our intentions are peaceful. We are the Brotherhood of Steel.
Wow. That is the most impressive thing I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot of things.
New mission objective received.
We're bad guys. It's what we do.
Play with us and you die, you dumb motherfucker.
That's it.
Please stand. Now A. Free fire zone. Warning. Hostiles in area.
Yes.
That was more than we bargained for. Can't wait to try on the outfit.
Show me what you got.
So
That's some serious protection.
Ha ha. Very funny. So look, there's one more thing I need your help with. Didn't quite feel comfortable telling you earlier, but my parents were murdered when I was a little girl.
That must have been hard on you. How did you move past it?
Spent most of my youth being raised by my aunt and uncle. They didn't exactly have the parenting gene. Made ends meet by running with a raider gang. When they weren't drunk or beating me, they were usually strung out on Jet, Psycho, or something worse. Only peace I found was reading those comic books.
I'm sorry to hear that you suffered.
One night, when I was falling asleep, a couple of guys barged through the front door with duct tape and knives. And well, you can probably guess the rest from there. When I came to, I was locked up in a cage. Come to find out later, my aunt and uncle had sold me into slavery to pay for their drug habit.
I can't even imagine having to go through something like that.
And that was my life for the next several years. Until Murphy's gang rescued me and wiped out those slavers. Been running with them in Concord ever since.
What happened after that?
Once free, I returned to the print shop to retrieve my old comics. Found out that my aunt and uncle had long since moved out of that place. Spent a lot of time trying to track them down. And I think I finally found where they're holed up.
You want revenge, don't you?
I want to make them suffer like I did. And I want you to help me make it happen.
All right, I'll do it.
They camped out at a lake up north. I can mark the location on your Pip-Boy. Let's head out when you're ready.
Yep, that's me. Is there a problem?
You're late. Can I be intimidated?
Excuse me.
Hey, you the ones that Hardy sent to drop off supplies to old May and Ben?
Yep, that's me.
You're late.
Is everything okay? You seem pretty tense.
It's not looking good for May. Her dementia's progressed up to stage 6.
What does that mean?
The engine's running, but it's hard to tell if there's anyone behind the wheel. Her short-term memory's pretty much shot, and the delusions and anxiety are getting worse. Hence a reminder who I was today. It's not something you're... And with Ben...
What are you gonna do now, Doctor?
Honestly, I've got no idea. She's gonna need more frequent visits just to assist with everyday activities. We can't provide them with the care they need, not without more volunteers. But at the same time, we can't just abandon them, not after what they did to save us.
What do you mean? What happened to you guys?
Years back, a group of us were trapped in a house fire south of Medford. Figured we were goners, until Ben and May showed up out of nowhere and rescued us. We became good friends over the years, and started caring for them as their condition deteriorated. But there's not much more we can do for Ben at this point. At stage 7, he can't speak anymore, and the chems don't help with the symptoms once someone is that far gone. It's just about providing comfort for him to the extent we're able.
You can never go wrong helping your friends and family. Is there anything I can do to help?
Well, now that you mention it, if you'd be willing to keep them company for a bit, I've got an errand to run down south.
I'm happy to help with anything I can.
All right. I mean, if it's not too much trouble. It shouldn't be more than 8 hours or so before Terrence arrives for the next shift. Ben's asleep, so it's just a matter of keeping an eye on May. Head on in with the supplies, and thanks again.
Hey there.
Oh, hi there. I wasn't expecting company. Can I get you something to drink?
I'm looking for some Jet.
It's been so long since we've had anyone come visit. What brings you here?
Cut the shit, May. You know why I'm here.
I'm sorry, dear. Do we know each other?
After what you pulled, quit pretending you don't remember me.
I do like your costume and makeup. Is it Halloween already?
This is making me uncomfortable.
Don't wuss out on me now. I've come way too far not to see this through. Dementia or not, they need to pay for what they've done.
Hold on. let's talk about this.
At this point, you're either with me or against me. Make your choice.
Would you like a cookie?
I'd prefer a nice round of backgammon, but sure. I suppose I'm game.
Right, make a joke. Time to end this.
Excuse me.
Thanks for your help. Easy.
Yeah, well, I am pretty awesome.
No argument there, Puddin'. I'm gonna head back home. If you ever want a partner in crime for the road, come find me. Let's get back to...
Mission objective completed. Increase.
Hey.
What you got cooking?
You interested in traveling together?
Look out, world.
Mm-hmm. Hey, sweetie.
Hey. Got a minute to chat?
You want to talk? Let's talk.
Look, about before. I don't really have a good excuse. There's not much for kids to do around here. Mostly, I was just bored. Will you forgive me?
New mission objective received.
Don't you have anything to say in your defense?
Hey, I didn't know you'd turn out to be cool. How about we start over?
Yeah, I guess so. You've got a deal.
You can count on me. No more games, I promise. So look, I've got an experiment I need help with. It's up on the freeway. You interested?
Do you have any more details?
Well, Murphy wasn't listening to me earlier, so let's just say it involves a hostage and some C4. You want to check it out with me?
Well, this should be interesting. I'm in.
Okay then, I'll mark the location on your map. Let's head out when you're ready.
Hi there.
So, what do you think? Pretty cool, huh?
What's going on here?
Blowing up cars is my favorite. I got tired of bugging Murphy about my mom, so a few of the ladies helped me out. We even rigged up a detonator. Ready to see all the parts go flying?
Let's skip the small talk and get to work.
I like where your head's at. Go talk to the prisoner first, but don't kill him yet, okay?
Hey there, friend. Preston Garvey, Commonwealth Minutemen.
I know Preston Garvey. You aren't Preston Garvey.
If that's really how you feel, that's straight up crazy.
You calling me a liar?
Maybe you made a mistake. I want to believe that.
How did you end up in there?
Have you heard of the Quincy Massacre? I was with Colonel Hollis's group. A mercenary group called the Gunners was attacking Quincy.
I think you're confusing me with someone who gives a shit.
What brought you out here?
I'm looking for a job.
Look, you know my situation. You ready to help out?
I had a more direct solution in mind.
What's that supposed to mean?
Here, I'll show you. Well, hello.
What's up? Thanks for bringing help. I can see where I get it.
Hey, it was fun. Anything else you need blown up?
When I find something, you'll be the first to know. Anything else you want to take care of while we're here?
I have some information you might want.
If it's about Preston, I know that wasn't the real guy. Raina says there's at least one other imposter out there. But blowing them up made me feel better. And it wasn't really about the killing.
What do you mean by that?
It's about sending a message. I read that fear of death is even worse than death itself. So I recorded the execution onto a holotape. Someday, I'll make sure the real Preston gets a copy. I just want him to live in fear, until someone can put him out of his misery. Who knows? Maybe it'll be you.
If you say so. Anything else we're supposed to do here?
Not that I know of. If it's all right, I'll keep tagging along with you for now.
Mission objective.